Hey everyone, this is Lesky here, back to another FIFA 21 Pro Clubs player build for you guys today. And in this video, we have for you a Johan Cruyff center forward build, which was requested in the comments by a couple of viewers on some of my recent videos. If y'all haven't heard of Johan Cruyff before, he is a legend of the game. He is an icon on Ultimate Team. He played a lot of his playing career at Ajax, and then he went to Barcelona. It seems like it's a common theme with a lot of players, especially back in the day. A lot of players went from Ajax to Barcelona, and Ajax was actually, even though they're a really big club now, they were even bigger and like one of the best clubs in the world at the time when Cruyff was playing. So actually just looking at like Cruyff's profile, it says he played 240 games at Ajax, and after Ajax he went to Barcelona, and then he had like 5 or 6 years at Barcelona playing 143 games. And then after that he went to, so it looks like, some clubs in the United States, like whatever it was back then. I don't think it was the MLS, whatever it was called back then. Then he went to Levante, and then back to Ajax actually towards the end of his career, and then Feyenoord. So, and then that's where he ended his career. But then actually the year after he retired at Feyenoord, he became the coach of Ajax from 1985 to 88, and then he basically got hired by Barcelona after his terms at Ajax. So he was a coach for Barcelona from 1988 to 1996. So actually 8 years, which is actually quite a bit. And in that time, he actually changed the way Barcelona played. And nowadays, well, actually not really nowadays, but like a few years back when they had Iniesta, Xavi, a solid midfield, and they played that tiki-taka offense. That's what Johan Cruyff started. I'm pretty sure he was even coaching Pep Guardiola when Pep Guardiola was on Barcelona at the time. And Barcelona became a really known club and a big club, like pretty much after Johan Cruyff became the coach. He kind of changed that club and completely revitalized Barcelona as a whole and made them now what they are today, basically. So a lot of credit has to go to Johan Cruyff when it comes to just not only his playing ability and the way he plays, because he's a very unique player. If you've seen some of his clips on like YouTube, I know they're older clips, but he's very unique and very shifty and skillful, but also his coaching tactics were game-changing, honestly, for the future of football, because he's the one that really started that 4-3-3 with the wingers and then the high press, tiki-taka passing possession, making sure they possess the ball. He believed that like if you have a ton of possession in a game, you're obviously most likely going to win, which makes sense, but obviously there's times where teams can have like 60% possession, 70% possession, and they still lose off a counterattack. But that's what he believed, and that was basically his philosophy, is possession, tiki-taka, take the ball, pass the ball, and get a golazo. That's enough about Johan Cruyff's past, his coaching and his playing days. Just talking about this build now, as you guys can see, on the physical side, he is 5'10", 119 pounds. On FIFA, Cruyff is listed as 5'11", so I could have went for 6 foot or 5'10". I decided to go for 5'10", because it just makes him a little quicker, and it's a little bit closer to his pace on actually Ultimate Team. If I made him 6 foot, he'd be slower than he is on Ultimate Team. 5'10", 119 pounds makes it pretty accurate towards his pace on Ultimate Team. So just make sure you're listed at 119 pounds and 5'10", and you'll be good to go. And now we can move on to the skill tree. Sorry guys, that was a long intro talking about just Cruyff's past and his playing days. I don't know if y'all enjoy me talking about some of the histories of the players, if they have a rich history, like soccer playing, or even when it comes to coaching or stuff like that, or just interesting facts about their past. Just let me know in the comments if y'all like that, or if you just want me to get straight to the skill tree. So now, just looking on this playstyle screen, as you guys can see, we're 5'10", 119 pounds, and right-footed. And then on the bottom right, I'm an 88 overall. Some of y'all's might be higher if y'all play more games than me, and then some of y'all's rating might be lower. Don't worry about it. You'll probably just haven't played as many games as me if your rating is lower. If you keep playing more games, you'll eventually have the same overall as me. And then overall is not too big of a deal anyways. Don't get too fixated on the actual overall of the build. It's very deceiving. So now let's move on to the skill tree, which we will start first with the physical page since we don't have much. We didn't go for anything on the left, and as you guys know, on most of my builds, I at least try to add some strength. But for this build, I couldn't, since we really needed to spread the skill points around with this Cruyff build, because he is very well rounded when it comes to all the aspects of the game, except for really defense. His defense isn't high at all, which is understandable since he is listed as a center forward. But we went all the way down to the second wind. If you are playing any with this build, what I would suggest doing probably now is taking off the second wind and adding it to this extra strength to get to 73 strength instead of 79. Or what you can do is add it to the strength, and I'm going to skip to dribbling real quick, and you can just do this and go to ball control focus. So that's your options if you are an any and you shouldn't have second wind. You're not going to need second wind. It's a waste of skill points. Add it to something else like the strength or the dribbling on this build if you'd like, to make it just feel a little bit better. You don't need the second wind, so just remember that. But I'm going to have it on since I don't play any, and most of y'all probably aren't playing any anyways that are watching my videos. So now we're going to be moving on to dribbling. Just looking at his stats, I'm comparing his to his 91 mid card on Ultimate Team. And then also a little bit of his 89 rated card, since this is an 88 rated build. But he has 94 agility and 80 balance on his 91 rated center forward, which we're not going to be able to touch. We can get close to it with 89 balance. That's the max we can get for a 5'10", 119 pound. Like, we went as full skinny as possible, and we're actually an inch shorter than he is. And we still can't get as much agility as a center forward, which is all right. You're not going to notice too much of a difference. That's still a really high agility number. And then I noticed that his balance is actually his lowest stat on every single one of his cards. Like, he has insane dribbling, everything's above 90, but then his balance is like in the low 80s. Like, right on this card, he has 94 agility, 80 balance. So what I did was try to get that agility max, so which is 89, it's not in the 90s, and then get that balance as low as possible while still able to retain the 5-star skills, and that'll get us 81 balance instead of his 80 balance. So we have +1 balance on him, and then less agility. But the agility felt really nice on this build when it comes to dribbling. The 5-star skills are really silky. You have a lean body type, really skinny. It feels nice. The moves come off pretty quick. Yeah, there's nothing much else to say about it. Just the dribbling feels really freaking good on this build. And then on this right side, we went down to the flare trait and the 5-star skills. I believe he has flare trait. Yeah, he has flare trait, so we're accurate when it comes to that, the flare and the 5-star skills. So this will be it for dribbling now. We can move on to passing. Over here on passing, Cruyff, looking at his card, he's almost like since he is listed as a center forward, you expect him to have pretty good passing. He's pretty much like a cam. He's like, that's basically what a center forward is. It's like a cam striker hybrid, basically. You're clinical up top, you got good shooting, but you also can play make and pass. So that's what I tried to do with adding passing stats. And what my real goal really was just getting that long passing, because as a default, your long passing to start for a center forward is not good. It's low 70s, like I'll show you guys right now. It's 72. So what I did was get this long passing on the right, the first long passing, and that's what all you'll get on the right section. And then this bottom long passing advanced focus for +3 long passing and +2 curve. And then you're going to go down to the long passing focus, which will give you, this will give you +2 long passing right here for 1 skill point, and this will also give you another +1 long passing. So that'll be 80 long passing and 80 curve exactly, along with the 80 vision. The only thing that's not 80 is the crossing. We just don't have an extra skill point for that. Again, if you are any, and if you're just bugged that it's not 80, you could add that extra skill point. Instead of going to strength, you could add it to crossing, which might be nice. It would just look a lot better. It'll all be in the 80s. But looking at Cruyff's passing ability on his 91 rated center forward card, his long passing is not as good as his short passing, which is understandable. So it's kind of similar in regards to this build, just our passing stats are a little bit lower. Like, he has 91 vision, we have 80, we can't do anything about that. He has 85 crossing, we have 79, again, can't do much about that. 90 short passing, we got 88, so we are pretty close when it comes to short passing, just a little bit less. And then, like I said, he has 84 long passing, which is less than his short passing, but it's still pretty high. It's above 80, which is why I was trying to at least get our long passing to 80, so you can feel confident playing those long balls across the field and actually playing like a cam if you want to with this build. Like, you could probably use this build as a cam in the cam position, just your passes might not be as good as if you were actually listed as a cam. But nonetheless, the passing on this build felt really good to me. I really didn't see too much of a problem with it, and I got quite a few assists using this build. And then lastly, just the last stat, he has a lot of curve. He has 91 curve. Like, we're not really able to match his passing stats, which maybe if they added more skill points, which I feel like they should have, like, by now, they should at least give us like 10 or 20 more skill points we could work to make our players even higher rated as the year progresses. But they just don't seem to care about pro clubs at all, and only care about Ultimate Team, which makes sense because that's pretty much the only thing that makes them a ton of money. And then on the shooting, like I said, he has the 5-star weak foot with those 5-star skills, so of course we're getting that 5-star weak foot. And then all you're gonna have to do is literally just go for the weak foots. This first weak foot right here, and then this in the middle section, go for this other weak foot, and then you're good to go on the shooting page. Reviewing the stats compared to his 91 rated card, he has 91 finishing, we have 95. With the 5-star weak foot, it's naturally gonna be better. So we already have better finishing than his 91 rated card. If we look at his 94 prime card, he has exactly 95 finishing. So we're spot on with his 94 rated prime card when it comes to finishing. On his 91 card, he doesn't have that much shot power. That's like one of his lower stats. That's actually the lowest stat on all of his cards, is his shot power, which could be a problem, but it's actually good for pro clubs since you can't get your shot power very high anyway, so it makes it pretty accurate. He has 82 shot power. We had to settle for 81. We couldn't go for this extra shot power for 2 skill points. I don't think it's too worth it. Just 1 shot power for 2 skill points. You're not going to tell much of a difference between 81 and 82 in my opinion. But he has 82 shot power and we have 81, so that's pretty freaking accurate. He has 90 long shots, we have 89, only 1 off again. And then he has 92 volleys, we have 94, which is absolutely absurd since we got this 5-star weak foot and added these extra volleys. And then just looking at the pins, he has 87 pins on his card, we have 86. So the shooting stats are very, very close. We have better finishing, one less shot power, 1 less long shots, better volleys, and then penalties don't really matter. Heading accuracy, we have 83, and then heading accuracy on all of his cards are really bad. On his prime card, he only has 62 heading accuracy, so we are already at an advantage when it comes to heading the ball towards goal. And I did at least get 1 header with this build, maybe 2. I got a pretty nice diving header, I do remember, with this build. So this will be it now for the shooting section. Just make sure you go down to the 2 weak foots and then you'll be good to go. So now to the last section, which is pace. I really wanted to get that full pace upgrade to basically get us to 92, 93-ish pace instead of 91 pace. But on Cruyff's prime mid card, and is actually his prime card, he has 91 pace exactly, so we are pretty spot on. Like, he has 93 acceleration, 89 sprint speed on this card. We have 92 acceleration, 90 sprint speed. So he's got 1 acceleration, we got 1 sprint speed. So it's basically the same. Then on his 94 card, he has 93 acceleration, 89 sprint speed. So same exact thing. We're just not able to get it to exactly that. Anyways, I'd rather have 92-90. It just looks better than 93-89. And I really did not notice a problem with the pace on this build. It honestly felt really quick in my opinion, but I also don't use like the fastest builds, so I'm kind of used to not using like the paciest builds, like just kind of like lower 90s is what I like. And then I just like to use a lot of skills to use that high acceleration to blow past people rather than just trying to sprint by them and rely on my sprint speed. But that will be it for this Johan Cruyff build. I actually loved using this build. I haven't mentioned it yet, but this is probably the best build on my channel when it comes to an attacker position like center forward, striker, possibly even winger. I really like this build, mostly since that 5-star is just OP when it comes to the comes around in the box area. Like, you do a skill move to create some space in the box or something, and then it doesn't matter what foot the ball lands on or drops to, like, you can just bang it and it's going to be an accurate shot wherever you're pointing because of that 5-star weak foot. It's extremely clutch in front of goal, and that's the main reason why it's so good, because of that 5-star, and then the dribbling stats are crazy. The passing stats are really pretty freaking good for a center forward. Bump those up. And then the shooting's crazy on this build. It's just a really well-rounded build. Like, the dribbling's good, the passing's good, and the shooting's good. When you do look at the dribbling, like, one thing you would notice is maybe the balance is not as high as you'd like it. But I really didn't notice too much of a problem with the low balance on this build. Like, maybe if I was taller, I would start noticing a problem with it. But I really had no problem with the balance on this build. It felt pretty good. And Neymar's like one of the best cards on FIFA this year, like on Ultimate Team. And he has low balance exactly like Cruyff, like high agility, like 94, 95 agility, but like low balance, like 80, 82 balance. If you have crazy agility and like a lower balance, it doesn't seem to affect your player as much. But this is going to be it for this JOHAN CRUYFF center forward build. If y'all do try it out, let me know in the comments how it went for you. And also, if you have any more build ideas, please put them in the comments and I can see if I can get to them. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Peace out.